Have you ever driven after you've had only 2 hours of sleep from Irvine to Malibu, just so that you don't miss your 8 a.m. class? Well, I have. It's because I don't want to be late for any class. I want to have perfect attendance, and I want to be perfect. I was born and raised in China. You may probably heard that Chinese parents are strict and they adopt a total different way of educating their child compared to American parents. So every Chinese child grow up with this magical neighbor's kids. They can be really different people. They don't have to be your actual neighbor's kid. This is just a way of saying, which usually refers to the kind of child who scores 100% on every test, who never plays video games or never watch TVs, and who never disobeys with their parents. While I was growing up, my cousin was the kind of neighbor's kid in my life. And she spent all her weekends and vacations on after school programs through from elementary school to high school. And she is definitely a straight A student. And every year, when the whole big family gathered together during Chinese New Year, my parents would always say to me, "Look at your cousin. Why is she so perfect? And why can't you be perfect? Why can't you do so many things like her?" So I was so young at that time. I didn't know any better. I thought maybe my parents are telling me to be perfect is for my interest, so I have to listen to them. This idea of being perfect almost brainwashed me during my whole childhood. So when I was 4, I started playing piano. There was this piano room inside our kindergarten that taught little kids some basic piano knowledges, but it was not required. One day, when I was walking in the lobby, I heard this beautiful melody coming downstairs from that room. And it was at that moment that I decided that I want to learn how to play piano. But for a 4-year-old kid, the thought of learning a new instrument or any new things equals the thought of I want to eat ice cream today. It was short and temporary. But somehow I expanded that temporary interest into 10 years. And during that 10 years, there were a lot of moments that I wanted to give up. But my parents told me, it was you who chose to learn and to play the piano. And it is your responsibility to keep going on. My parents were really busy at that time, and even now. After second grade, after my grandmother passed away, there was no one who could take care of me during summer break. And my parents were really afraid that I would stay home all day watching TV and doing nothing. So I was sent to this practicing center, this training center, that I can practice piano and I can finish my homework. So I stayed there from 7 a.m. in the morning, that's when my dad dropped me off, till 6 or 7 p.m. in the evening. That's when they got off work. This lasted for 6 years, until I finally couldn't stand it and gave up. But after that, I blamed myself for not being consistent and not being perfect. So I lived 18 years trying to be perfect. I pay attention to details. I care about others' feelings. Sometimes it goes into extreme that I couldn't say no to any request from my friends or even strangers just because I didn't want them to think negatively of me. But now I'm 21. So 3 years ago, I decided that I don't want to be perfect anymore. Did you still remember the story I told you at the very beginning? I drove through the horrible 405 traffic from Irvine to Malibu at 6 a.m. in the morning, and I almost died on PCH. I was so sleepy, and my head was nodding and my eyes were closed. I tried my best to stay awake, but I just couldn't stop myself from falling asleep. So finally, I thought I was closing my time. I thought I was closed my eyes for 1 second, but it was actually a lot more than that. So the next thing I know, after opening my eyes, is that I went face to face with this huge truck. Is that I was literally driving on the opposite side, facing traffic. But thank God, I opened my eyes before I crashed. So I had the chance to get away. I quickly turned my steering wheel, and I was fine. Otherwise, I won't be standing here today. So I realized that sometimes you just need to give yourself a little break to make everything better, and you don't need to push yourself trying to be perfect just because nobody is perfect. You just need to be happy and safe. Thank you.